He offered water to an alien warrior, then drank it himself. She wasn't ready. The first sign of the war was not fire. It was silence. Birds stopped flying. The wind slowed. Even the insects went quiet, as if the planet itself was holding its breath. Caleb Reynolds felt it before he saw anything. He stood in the middle of his ruined farm, holding a wooden bucket filled with water. His hands were rough, his clothes worn thin. The land beneath his boots was cracked and black, burned by weapons no human could understand. This farm once fed hundreds. Now it barely fed him and 3 horses. Brutus, the largest horse, lowered his head toward the bucket. Caleb watched the horizon while the animal drank. Survival had taught him one rule: never relax. Then the sky changed. Light bent in strange ways. The air vibrated. A deep hum rolled across the plains, shaking the ground in his chest. Caleb exhaled slowly. "Not again," he whispered. A shape appeared where the sky should have been empty. Smooth, sharp, wrong. An alien ship slipped out of nothing and descended like a hunting beast. It landed with control and confidence, as if this land already belonged to it. Caleb did not run. Running had taken his parents. Running had taken his sister. The ship opened. Armored figures marched out, weapons glowing with blue energy. Their movements were perfect, cold, practiced. Then she stepped forward. She was taller than the others. Her skin was deep blue, almost metallic. Silver hair reflected the dying sunlight. Her armor marked her as someone important. A commander. She looked at Caleb like one might look at a broken tool. "Human," she said, "this territory now belongs to the Astral Dominion. Identify yourself." Caleb set the bucket down. "This is my land," he said, "or it was." The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "You have no claim here." Caleb picked the bucket back up and walked toward her. Every alien weapon lifted slightly, ready to fire. He stopped a few steps away and held the bucket out. "Water," he said simply. The commander stared at him in confusion, then disgust. Before she could answer, Caleb raised the bucket and drank. Slow, calm. Water spilled down his face and soaked his shirt. He lowered it and met her gaze. "Suit yourself." For the first time in 3 years of war, a human stood unafraid. And for the first time, an alien commander hesitated. That hesitation would change everything. Why humans don't break. The Astral Dominion had conquered many worlds. Every time, the pattern was the same. Land threaten, break the locals, take everything. Humans were supposed to be no different. That was the report. Yet Commander Vira stood on a ruined farm, staring at a single human who refused to act like prey. Caleb Reynolds did not bow. He did not beg. He did not shout or curse. He simply stood there calm, as if death was just another part of the day. Vira had seen fear across dozens of species. Fear had a smell, fear had a posture, fear had a sound. This human showed none of it. "Why do you remain standing?" Vira asked coldly. "Your kind usually runs." Caleb looked past her, toward the burned horizon. "Running didn't save anyone," he said. "Staying did." That answer unsettled her. Alien soldiers scanned the area, weapons active. Their systems showed no hidden defenses, no traps, no backup. Just one man, 3 horses, and land that had already been destroyed. "You are outmatched," Vira said. "Your species lost this war." Caleb nodded once. "True," he said, "but losing isn't the same as breaking." Vira studied him carefully now. His clothes were thin. His body showed signs of hunger. His hands were cracked and scarred from years of labor. By Dominion standards, he was weak. And yet he stood. "Why do you still protect this place?" she asked. "It holds no value." Caleb finally looked at her. "It holds memory," he said. "That's enough." The alien commander felt something unfamiliar press against her thoughts. Confusion. The Dominion taught that intelligence was measured by efficiency, emotion was waste, attachment was weakness. But this human survived because of attachment. Your species hides instead of fighting, Vira said. That is not strength. Caleb shook his head. We don't hide, he replied. We endure. While you conquer worlds, we protect people. The words struck harder than any weapon. Vira turned away, signaling her troops to lower their guns. Observe him, she ordered quietly. Do not engage. The soldiers hesitated, surprised but obeyed. As night settled over the ruined land, Vira realized something dangerous. Humans did not resist the Dominion with force. They resisted by refusing to become what the Dominion expected. And that made them far more dangerous than anyone had predicted. The one who studied death. Admiral Thorax did not enjoy war. War was messy, loud, uncontrolled. He preferred silence. Silence in laboratories, silence before a blade touched flesh, silence when answers were finally revealed. That was why he came to Earth. The Dominion had ordered conquest, but Thorax wanted understanding. Humans had survived longer than expected, too long, and survival always meant there was something worth cutting open. Thorax's flagship entered the atmosphere like a shadow of judgment. The land below was already broken, but he intended to break it further. On the surface, Commander Vira stood at attention as the Admiral's shuttle landed. The air trembled when he stepped out. He was taller than any of his soldiers. His armor carried marks of rank and trophies from conquered worlds. Commander Valkyris, Thorax said, his voice calm and cold. Your reports are unusual. Vira kept her posture firm. I am conducting field assessment, Admiral. Thorax's eyes shifted past her. To Caleb. The human stood quietly near the ruins of the farm. His clothes were worn. His face showed exhaustion, yet he did not look away. Thorax smiled. There it is, the Admiral said, the anomaly. Caleb felt the alien's gaze press against him like weight. This was not curiosity. This was hunger. It does not kneel, Thorax observed. Interesting. I comprehend, Caleb said evenly, and I don't kneel for killers. A ripple of surprise moved through the alien ranks. Thorax stepped closer. It speaks, he said, with confidence. He turned to Vira. Your report said primitive intelligence. My assessment is ongoing, Vira replied carefully. Thorax raised a hand. Bring the human forward. Caleb did not resist when alien devices locked around his neck and wrists. Cold metal, tight grip. Do not damage him, Thorax ordered. I want clean data. The first test began immediately. Gravity increased. Caleb's body screamed as invisible force crushed down on him. His knees bent, his breath shortened. Sweat ran into his eyes. Most species collapsed in seconds. Caleb did not. He spread his feet, locked his jaw, and stood. Thorax's eyes narrowed. Increase it. Vira stepped forward. Admiral. His vitals are exactly what I want, Thorax interrupted. The pressure grew again. Caleb's vision blurred, but he remained upright. Not because he was strong, because he refused to fall. Finally, Thorax raised his hand. The force vanished. Caleb gasped but stayed standing. Silence filled the field. Thorax stared at him. This one, the Admiral said slowly, is worth dissecting. And Vira realized with cold certainty that if she did nothing, this human would not survive the night. The commander who broke the rules. Commander Vira had followed rules her entire life. Rules of rank. Rules of conquest. Rules that said mercy was weakness and obedience was survival. Breaking rules was unthinkable. Yet that night, As the alien camp slept under cold artificial lights, Vira stood alone and questioned everything she believed. Across the field, Caleb Reynolds sat near a small fire. His body was bruised from the tests. His breathing was slow but steady. He did not complain. He did not beg. Vira had seen brave soldiers before. She had never seen quiet defiance like this. Admiral Thorax's words echoed in her mind. This one is worth dissecting. That was not strategy. That was obsession. Vira turned her gaze toward the stars above Earth. This planet was listed as weak, easy, disposable, but the data was wrong. The humans were wrong in the most dangerous way. They refused to behave as victims. She made her decision. Vira walked toward Caleb. The guards stiffened but stepped aside when they saw her rank. She stopped a few steps from him. "They will take you at dawn," she said quietly. Caleb looked up at her. "I figured." "You will not survive," she continued. He nodded once, "Then say what you came to say." That answer struck her harder than anger ever could. "There is another option," Vira said. Her voice was low now, careful, "but it requires you to trust an enemy." Caleb studied her face, searching for a lie. He found none. "What option?" he asked. "Escape," she replied. The word felt heavy, dangerous. Caleb blinked. "You'd risk everything for one human." Vira's jaw tightened. "For truth." She activated a small device at her wrist. The energy restraints around Caleb's neck released with a soft click. Alarms did not sound. "Not yet." "You have 10 minutes," she said. "After that, I can no longer protect you." Caleb stood slowly, testing his strength. "And you?" "I cannot return," Vira answered. "Once you are gone, Thorax will know." Caleb understood what she was saying. "You're choosing exile," he said. She met his eyes. "I am choosing what is right." Footsteps echoed nearby. The camp was waking. Vira handed Caleb a compact alien weapon. "Point and press," she said. "It will not miss." "Comforting," Caleb muttered. They moved into the shadows together, slipping past scanners and patrols. Each step forward was treason. Each breath burned with risk. Behind them stood an empire built on obedience. Ahead of them was uncertainty. And for the first time, Commander Vira did not fear the unknown. She feared staying. The secret humans never used. The Dominion believed humans were dangerous because they fought back. They were wrong. Humans were dangerous because they waited. Deep beneath the broken hills of Earth, far from alien scanners and warships, the Resistance base lived in silence. Old mining tunnels had become shelter. Broken machines had become weapons. What should not have worked somehow did. Caleb Reynolds stood at the edge of a large underground chamber, staring at a glowing blue crystal embedded in the rock wall. "So this is it," he said quietly. The scientists called it terite. They had found it by accident months ago while digging deeper to hide from alien patrols. At first, they thought it was just another useless mineral. Then an alien scout drone flew too close. It fell out of the sky. Commander Vira stepped closer to the crystal, her face tight with concern. The soft glow reflected in her silver eyes. "This material disrupts our cellular regeneration," she said. "At higher exposure, it can kill us." Caleb looked at her sharply. "You mean this stuff can stop them?" "Yes," Vira replied, "completely." The room fell silent. A weapon powerful enough to end the invasion stood right in front of them. And yet it had never been used. Colonel Harris, leader of the Resistance, folded his arms. "We could have wiped out alien patrols months ago," he said, "but we didn't." Vira turned to him. "Why?" "Because that's not who we are," Harris answered. "We defend, we don't erase." Vira absorbed that slowly. The Dominion destroyed worlds the moment it gained an advantage. Humans held back even when they finally had won. that terrified her more than any army. A technician rushed into the chamber, breathless. "Sir, we intercepted Dominion signals." The room snapped to attention. "It's Admiral Thorax," the technician continued. "He's diverting ships, not to the front lines." Caleb's jaw tightened. "He's coming for us." "For you," Vira corrected. "He wants human immunity. Territe hurts us. Humans survive it." Harris clenched his fist. "So he plans to cut you open until he figures out why." Caleb met Vira's gaze. "Then we stop him before he reaches us." Vira straightened, commander instincts fully awake. "There is something else," she said. "My command codes are still active. I can reach the Dominion High Command." Harris raised an eyebrow. "Expose Thorax." "Yes," Vira said firmly. "He has violated our own laws. If the High Command sees proof, they will be forced to act." Caleb looked at the glowing crystal again. Humans had a weapon they never wanted to use. Now they had a chance to win without firing it. Above them, alien ships moved closer. Time was running out, and the war was about to change forever. When humans stopped running, humans had spent 3 years running. Running from fire in the sky. Running from cities turned to dust. Running because survival mattered more than pride. But on this day, deep beneath broken mountains, humans stopped. The resistance base shook as alien ships filled the sky above. Warning lights flashed across the command center. Voices overlapped. Screens showed enemy forces closing in from every direction. Caleb Reynolds stood near the entrance tunnel, holding a rifle made from salvaged alien parts and human steel. "We're not fast enough to escape," someone said. Caleb shook his head. "Then we don't." Colonel Harris looked at him sharply. "You're saying we stand." Caleb nodded once. "We make them bleed for every step." Commander Vira watched the humans prepare. There was no panic, no screaming, just focus, quiet resolve. Dominion soldiers were trained to obey. Humans were trained to adapt. The first alien dropships hit the valley floor. Energy weapons tore into the ground, but Territrean-forced shields absorbed the blasts. Human fighters moved between cover points, using terrain like second nature. Vira spoke quickly into a control panel. "Atmospheric scramblers active. Their targeting will be unstable." "That gives us minutes," Harris said. "Minutes are enough," Caleb replied. The battle erupted. Alien troops advanced in perfect lines. Humans broke those lines. Explosions echoed through the valley as Territe charges disabled alien armor. Scouts fell from the sky. Heavy units slowed, then stopped completely. High above, a massive warship descended. Caleb felt a cold knot in his chest. "He's here," Vira said quietly. Admiral Thorax stepped from his shuttle like a god of war. His armor was heavier now, stronger, built to kill. "The human infestation ends today," Thorax roared. Caleb raised his weapon and stepped forward. "No," he said, "it ends with you." Thorax laughed and fired. The ground exploded where Caleb stood moments before. He rolled behind cover, heart pounding, moving without thought. This was no test. This was execution. Vira's voice echoed through the comms. "Transmission is almost ready. Hold him." Caleb breathed once. Then he ran toward the monster instead of away. He dodged blasts, closed distance, and fired Territe rounds directly into Thorax's armor. The Admiral screamed as systems failed. "You are nothing," Thorax roared. Caleb met his eyes. "No," he said, "I'm human." Behind them, the transmission went live. Across the stars, the Dominion High Command watched. And the truth could no longer be buried. You should never have touched Earth. The war did not end with an explosion. It ended with silence. Across the valley, alien weapons powered down one by one. Ships that once filled the sky now hovered in place, waiting. Dominion soldiers froze, unsure whose orders still mattered. Above them all, the truth traveled faster than any weapon. The Dominion High Command was watching. Caleb Reynolds stood among smoke and broken ground, breathing hard. His hands shook, not from fear but from exhaustion. Around him, humans rose from cover, confused but alive. Commander Vira stepped beside him, her glowing markings dimming as the transmission finished. "It's done," she said quietly. Admiral Thorax staggered backward, his armor sparking, his power fading. His voice was still loud, still proud. "You think this changes anything?" he snarled. "The Dominion does not retreat." A new voice cut through the battlefield. Calm, cold, absolute. "Admiral Thorax," the High Command spoke through every channel at once. "You have violated Dominion law, unauthorized experimentation, concealed executions, abuse of conquest authority." Thorax's ridges flared in fury. "I acted for the Dominion's future." "You acted for yourself," the voice replied. "Stand down." For the first time in his life, Admiral Thorax had no command to give. His weapon slipped from his grasp. Across the battlefield, Dominion ships began to rise, turning away from Earth. One by one, they left the sky they once ruled. Humans did not cheer at first. They simply watched. Colonel Harris exhaled slowly. "They're leaving." "Yes," Vira said, "and they will not return." The High Command spoke again. "Commander Vira Valkaris, your actions are noted." Vira straightened. "I request asylum with humanity." There was a pause. Then, request granted. Earth will be reclassified. No further Dominion action authorized. The channel went dead. Caleb looked at Vira. "You're staying." She nodded. "My war is over." Around them, humans began to move, tending the wounded, salvaging technology, planning tomorrow for the first time in years. The sun broke through the smoke, lighting the land that had suffered so much. "This planet survived," Vira said softly. Caleb shook his head. "No, it fought back." She smiled at that. Far away, among the stars, the Dominion learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were not weak. Humans were patient. And if you pushed them far enough, they stopped running. And they never lost again. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos.